Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Coffee and Tea with Susan. So today I am drinking the tea of the day, which is organic dandelion leaf and root. And if you've never tried that, try it. Read up on it because dandelion is good for boosting your mood. It's good for the liver. It really has a lot of health benefits. So if you want to look that up and give it a try, this one is by Traditional Medicine. I love that brand. And then I'm drinking it out of a mug that my daughter had given me for Christmas. So I'm excited about that. So if you want, just join me for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, whatever you choose. And I notice that if I don't pre-plan my videos and I'm just my natural self talking, I do so much better than trying to cut and paste and edit. I don't do as well with that. When I try to plan what I'm going to say, it doesn't come out as well as when I'm just like talking naturally. This is all me. So I could be a channel of your choice, or you may choose someone else to follow, and that's perfectly fine. Not everybody is for everyone, right? So I just kicking back. I'm still here in New Mexico. My daughter and her husband are skiing, and they have 3 children, 4, 3, and 1. And so we've just had a lot of fun. We're gonna head back home tomorrow, and we will spend one night in a hotel because we don't want to spend too many hours in the car with the kids. So we drive several hours and we spend the night in some hotel, and then we drive the rest of the way home. So it's been great. Jessica and Matt took off for like a date day, and they skied half of a day while I watched all 3 of them. And then yesterday I went to the ski resort with everyone, and I watched the baby while the family skied, which was a lot of fun. I got to see it from a really big window, and it was really fun watching all the people. People watching at ski resorts is so much fun. You see people get mad, you see people get irritated, you see people looking for people. I mean, it is just hilarious. So I was having a lot of fun putting the baby down for a nap and watching everyone. The lodge was kind of cool. They did have a fireplace with these beautiful logs, but they weren't burning it at that time. So if they were, I would have been cuddled up next to that fireplace with that baby. And so then today I am watching the baby at our Airbnb. And Jessica and Matt took the 2 older kids, and they're skiing, and they've been gone most of today so far. So I'm just like, wow, I think they're having a blast, which is really great. So I got to clean up the house, get some laundry sorted, play with the baby, give the baby a bath, and just enjoy her like one-on-one time. I don't usually have that time. So it was just so much fun. And I'm so glad that they invited me. They just said, hey, Mom, if we went on a winter trip, would you come and hang out with us and maybe watch the kids on and off? And I said, absolutely. So it's just been a blast. I hope my other kids will do that. These are probably the youngest of the grandchildren. The other grandchildren are a little bit older, but Jared still has a younger one about these kids' age. So anyway, maybe they could take me to like Hawaii or something like that. That would be a lot of fun. I do have a bucket list trip. And I'm trying to decide, maybe you guys could share with me and give me some tips down in the comments. I don't know, my husband and I chose one bucket list each, and it's a trip. Wherever we want to go, doesn't matter, wherever we want to go. And so I have traveled on mission trips for many years, and I've been to many places. I've gone to Cambodia, I've gone to Peru, I've gone to Australia, I've gone to Israel a few times, Cambodia many times. I've been to Haiti, I've been to different parts of Mexico, and so I've gone on a lot of mission trips. And I've done dental. I'm a dental hygienist. I'm newly retired, and so I was trained for tooth extractions, and I worked with clinics. I traveled all over with a missionary group, and it was a blessing. It was the time of my life, really. I'm just so blessed that my husband allowed me to go. My husband went with me on some of the trips, and the other trips, my husband was running our business and helping take care of the kids while I went. And I'm just so blessed that I have a husband that is willing to allow me to do the work that I feel I've been called to do. And so anyway, with the bucket list trip, it's going to be more like a vacation, not working really hard day and night. So I'm thinking about going to Ireland or Italy. So those are my two top choices right now. I'm a beach girl, and it would be really easy for me to choose amazing places on the beach, right? But there's just something about Ireland and Italy that I want to go. My family, I'm half Italian, and so my family way back are from Italy. So that would be kind of fun to visit Italy and just see where my ancestors are from. Ireland, I want to go buy a sweater. I want to go buy an Irish sweater that was actually made there in Ireland. I would just love to bring that back. I love sweaters. I love being cozy in the wintertime. Sweaters to me are cozy, so I like to wear them. And there's some really fun places in Ireland, right? So my husband's bucket list was Alaska. And so we went on his bucket list just a couple months ago. He really wanted to travel to Alaska, and he wanted to do a cruise. He didn't want to worry about driving or planning. Like, he just wanted to do a cruise and just have it all planned out for him. And so I said, okay, let's go. So anyway, so I got it together because I really wanted it to be a really nice cruise for him, since it's his bucket list, his one trip of his life. And he's worked so hard in his career for so many years. And when he was in dental school, he had given up so many things to do what he needed to do to be a great dentist. And so I just felt like this trip needed to be an amazing blessing for him. And just, so we did. We went on a cruise line. Someday I'll tell you more details about it, but we went on a cruise line. And we had so much fun. We were gone, I believe it was like 11, 12, 13 days, somewhere in there. And on that trip, one of the main girls that talks to everyone and plans everyone's trips and stuff like that, I mean, she's incredible. She's from Ireland. She was born and raised in Ireland. So I got to chat with her a little bit and say, hey, you know, and so she said, and I said, I see that this cruise line, which I really, really like, has a trip to Ireland, and it's new. It's going to start like in 2027. And she said, you know what? Don't do the cruise line, because if you go and you fly out there and you land, you know, in certain places and just get a rental car, you know, you can see so much more than if you do the cruise. So if you do the cruise, you're just going to kind of hit the more common sites, and it's probably going to be somewhat touristy, and that's not what I wanted. So I really want to go. I wanted to go for a month. My husband thought that might be a little bit too long. So I said maybe a couple weeks, but I want to go, and I want to get an Airbnb from a family that is from Ireland and that lives there. And I want to be able to live in their home and just feel the culture of Ireland. And I want to be able to ride a bike with my husband. I want to be able to go to the local, you know, tavern and eat some wonderful warm food, and maybe hear some music, maybe do some dancing, some Irish dancing. I just think that would be so much fun. So if you guys have traveled to Ireland, or you know anything about it, or you know people who have lived there and have been raised there, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, because I'm at 50-50 on between the two trips. Between Ireland and Italy, I'm just halfway. I don't know which way to go. I'm like, can I do both trips? So maybe, and then I thought, ooh, maybe like a major anniversary, I should pick Italy, because that's supposed to be like really romantic, you know, for your anniversary. And then I could still go to Ireland, and then I make two trips. That might work. I might do that. But I would still love to hear from you if you guys have any tips, or if you've been. And I've been to Australia before, and it is really amazing. The only thing I regret was that we didn't go into New Zealand, and it's so close. It's like we should have gone to New Zealand as part of that trip. And I had people tell me that 1 week isn't enough, and they were absolutely right. We did 2 weeks, and someone told me 3 weeks was perfect, and I could see people spending 3 weeks, especially if you're going to do Australia and New Zealand. But we did 2 weeks in Australia, and it was great. It was enough time. It was really good. And at that time, we had our 11-year-old daughter with us. The other kids were not on the trip. They were really busy in sports and school. And we hadn't adopted our last child yet. And so that was a great trip, and it was fun and all of that. But I am a beach girl, and I do hit the beach a lot. Like, I go to the beaches of California, I go to the beaches of Florida, I go to the beaches of Texas. I was born in New York and I lived a small portion of my life, and I remember the beaches there. Even though we left there when I was about 6, 7, I still remember going to the beaches. And I remember staying in a beach cottage. And I remember being really, really worried about the water, because it kept getting closer and closer as the tide came in. It kept getting closer and closer to the cottage. And I remember just being around, 5 or 6 or whatever, going, the water's gonna drown us. I remember that. But anyway, so I do have a lot of opportunities to go to the beach. But this year, as far as trips for this year, we have a son, our adopted son, our 5th child. He's in the Army, and he is stationed in Washington State. And so I would really like to go and visit Washington State and go see him, and also just tour the area, especially the national parks. I want to tour all that area and just stay there maybe a week, 10 days, something in there. I would love to do that this year. And I have a California trip in June, because we have 10 grandkids. And I think all of them are pretty much done except for Hector, the last one. He's in the Army, and he probably will have at least 2 kids. So I'm like, okay, we're probably gonna have 12 grandchildren altogether, but we have 10 right now. And so almost yearly, there's an 8th grade graduation. So we've been going. So we've already gone to 3 graduations, and so we're gonna go to another graduation this year. So we'll probably hit California and visit California a little bit, and do the 8th grade graduation. I want to be really careful with privacy with my family, so I have to be careful what I say, just because I want to keep my family safe. But I will tell you as much as I possibly can, and I will tell you in ways that you can figure out about my family and their personalities. I may say their name, but I'm not going to say too much about like where they live and all of that. So, but my son in the Army is no big deal. He's safe on base. But anyway, so that's what I think what we're going to do this year, and then maybe do like a couple little trips like this. It could be like that. But I look forward to staying home, maybe getting some things done. And we live in Texas, and we also have a beach house down south of Texas. And so we really enjoy doing that. We live life super simple. We live life comfortable. We don't have a ton of money, even though my husband was a dentist and I was a dental hygienist. We didn't run our business like most dentists. Most dentists, they have like 6 chairs, and they jump from one chair to another chair, another chair, another chair of patients. We didn't do that. My husband had several patients in a day. He saw them one at a time from start to finish before he would go to his second patient, and then he'd be start to finish and so on. And I was the same way. Usually hygienists have like 30 to 45 minutes per patient. I had an hour, and sometimes an hour and a half. So we just built relationships. We did pristine dentistry. Our dentistry, I'm not bragging in any way, but we cared for our patients, and we did the very best that we could ever do. And so that's the type of practice that we ran. So we weren't out there to get rich. We were out there to live comfortably, raise our children, put them through college or trade school or the military, get them, whatever, with the normal things that you do for your kids, right? And we didn't give them everything. We had them work. Our kids learned how to work. But we had all their needs met. And so So there's some things about me, and I see, I don't know how many minutes, I don't have my glasses on, but I probably won't be too long. I'm gonna try to keep my videos short and sweet so that you don't have to like, oh, this is way too long. And I also hear my baby crying right now, so I need to go get her. But anyway, you guys have a lovely day. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope you're still working on my challenge of someone that maybe is in need one way or the other, whether that's shelter or food or love or someone to care for them, or maybe someone that needs some help around their home. You know, if you ever see anybody in need, take on my challenge about making eye contact, asking them their name, asking them how they're doing. Even if you cannot help them, just talk to them and see what that brings you. I promise you, not only is it going to bless them, it's going to bless you in so many ways. And leave a message below and let me know if you take on that challenge, all right? Push like for me. It'll really help push this out, as you guys know. And take care, and I'll talk to you next time.